Hello. Welcome to the second video module for the innovation game. In this brief video, I'll be going through and briefly explaining all the different components that you'll find inside the box. Each component will be explained in more detail in subsequent video clips when we look in depth at the gameplay. As you can see, there are a number of different components to get through, so let's start with the game board. Each player has their own board, which represents their company or business environment. Most of the game activity will take place on this board, although at times you might make use of somebody else's board. There are 4 game zones into which processes and ideas are placed. These represent the innovation phases of creativity, development, value realization, and leadership. Down the right-hand side of the board, there are some reminders of the turn phases and some other key rules. Process cards represent the skills, architectures, product strategies and events that allow your ideas to be created and developed. They're colour-coded depending on which game zone they can be played in. Each process card has a lot of useful information on it. Its name, the type of card it is, which zone it can be played in, some text describing the impact of the card, a relevant quotation, and very importantly, the amount of resource that the card needs to make it work. Resources are essential for getting your processes to work. There is no such thing as a free lunch. The game uses 5 types of resource: money, people, knowledge, relationships, and innovation. Some people are just naturally great at coming up with good ideas. You'll have to carefully balance the number of resources that you employ against the income you're generating to make sure that you don't go broke. External forces cards provide random external influences to your business, for good or bad. Each player draws one of these at the start of each turn and must resolve their effect before moving on. For example, a product might receive a celebrity endorsement and gain value, or perhaps one might be selected as the best Christmas gift of the year and gain even more value. On the other hand, you might suffer a reorganisation and have to miss a turn, or perhaps there's a travel budget cut which impacts your relationship resources. Some effects, like this idea sabotage card, affect only the player drawing the card. Others, for example this bull market card, affect all players, in this case raising the share price for all. So in summary, you'll need to make some decisions about whether to make provisions for these events to minimise their impact, or whether to rely on your luck. Ideas are at the very core of the game, as they are in any discussion about innovation. Since within the game we don't actually need to know what any specific idea is, we use an abstract representation. In fact, the plastic boxes that the cards come in serve us very well. They simply need to be able to hold a measurement of the value of an idea at any point in time. To represent the value of an idea or product, we use these glass beads, which we call value tokens. Some process cards will add value tokens, and some external effects may well reduce their number. When required to by a process card effect, we simply add value tokens to the idea, thereby increasing its potential value to you. Once this idea becomes a product, it generates revenue, or any other kind of value, according to the number of value tokens it holds each turn. So, ideas and the value that they carry will be key to your success in the game. The score sheet is used to keep track of the state of your company. Basically, it tracks your income and expenditure. So, we can use this to mark the passage of the turns, and then for each turn we can record the revenue that we receive from our products, and we can take that score down to our revenue tally, which is basically our bank account. It keeps track of our money in the bank. If we wish at this point to pay a dividend, we can move money from the revenue tally into the shareholder dividend box. And down here we can keep track of our operational budget, which is basically money brought down from the bank to pay for things for this turn. So let's bring down the 11 points from our revenue tally into the budget to use this turn, and we'll use this money to recruit an extra resource. So in order to do this, we simply increase our resource tally by 1 and reduce our operational budget by 1, representing the cost of recruitment of that resource. A critical part of the game is when an idea moves from the development zone into the value zone, and in so doing becomes a product rather than just an idea. When this happens, we need to choose which market segment we wish our new product to go into. These are again abstract concepts. Here we've chosen to enter the rubber duck market. But we could equally have chosen teddy bears or marbles or games or cakes. It doesn't really matter what they are. The important thing is that this sets up a market dynamic. For example, if you're first to market, you get some extra value for your new product. Also in the box are a number of coloured tokens. These can be used to mark your ideas and products as yours if they move to another player's board at any stage in the game. If an idea is jointly owned, then it should contain tokens from both parties. Dice are included in the game since many processes have some form of random element to them. For example, you never really know how long it'll take for an R&D team to discover something new. You may be able to have some control over your luck though. Look out for processes that allow you to modify your dice roll. And so, these components, together with the play guide, make up the innovation game. In the next video segment, we'll be looking at how we set up to play the game. Thanks for watching. Bye.